Hello everyone, welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
And it is part 2 of our Grammar Station unit. Part B of our Grammar Station unit, part 2. And it's titled In Your Free Time. Yay, everyone loves free time. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not working or at school or, something like that?
I like to clean.
Because of COVID-19? That's probably quite smart.
Also, because I love to clean.
Oh, so even when it's not COVID-19, you're still cleaning all the time?
Cleaning, organizing, thinking, processing. I think it's good to relax and then just move things around. It helps me clear my mind.
Okay, interesting.
What about you?
I like to play music in my free time. So I guess that kind of shows that because of COVID-19, you get to do your activity more.
Yeah.
And I can't do my activity.
You can play it at home.
I can play at home, but I like to play with my friends. So maybe I should go home and just clean my guitars.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's not a bad idea. All right, we're gonna find out what Buddy and Marie, the characters in our dialogue, like to do in their free time. Part B, In Your Free Time. Buddy and Marie are talking about their free time.
What do you like to do in your free time?
I like to do many things in my free time. I have many hobbies and interests.
Okay, part B, in your free time. So the first sentence says, Buddy and Marie, these are our main characters today, are talking about their free time.
Okay, yeah, as we mentioned, your free time is stuff that you do when you're not busy doing other things. Generally going to school, going to work, things like that. If it's the evening, if it's the weekend, if it's a holiday, you have free time. Now, often when we hear the word free, we think of something that you can get without paying money, right? Oh, this is free. You don't have to pay for it. Well, that could be something that is free. But here, we're talking about free time. Now, that is time that is not being used in another way. So if something is free like that, it's available. If you want to use it, you can use it. The free time you have is time when you aren't doing other things like working or going to school. If you get on a bus and you see a free seat, that means no one is sitting there. It's available. You can use it. If you say, hey, I have a free day next week, that means a day when you're not supposed to be doing other things. It's available to be used in any way you want.
Yes, that's right. And if we're friends and you want to ask your friend, when are you free? I want to go shopping. So that means I want to know when you have time that you're not doing anything else. And if that time works with my time, we're both free, we can go shopping together.
Yeah, if you say I'm free that day, you're saying I have free time that day. And that is exactly what Buddy is interested in about Marie. So he asks her this question to start the dialogue. What do you like to do in your free time? He could also say, what do you like to do when you are free?
So Marie says, I like to do many things in my free time.
Okay.
I have many hobbies and interests. Wow. Marie sounds like an interesting person who likes to do different types of activities.
Absolutely, yeah. And when she has free time, she has different things, these hobbies and these interests that she likes. Now, a hobby is something you do in your free time. We might call it a pastime, but hobbies are generally something where you do a little bit more. A pastime might be like watching TV or surfing the internet or chatting with your friends. A hobby is something you might learn and become better at, something you might do with your hands, something you might even take a class in if you want to become better. Painting, doing things with art, cooking, doing things with plants, gardening and growing flowers or things like that. These are the types of things we would think of as hobbies. So it is a pastime. It is something you do in your free time, but something that's a little more active. You might actually work at becoming better at it.
Exactly. And something to note about a hobby is that you want to actually work hard, like Mike says. It's not watching a movie. Some people here, they say, oh, I like to watch movies. That's not a hobby because you don't work at it. Okay, so for example, we can say Jane's favorite hobby is playing tennis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sports are often hobbies too. Anything with sports, anything with the arts, and things like that. Now, if it's sports, if it's arts, if it's movies, those all could be your interests.
Yes,
An interest is just something that interests you, something your mind likes to do, something you enjoy doing. You probably do it quite often. It wouldn't be something you did just one time. No, it's something that you will make time, you will find free time to go and do that. Anything from reading books to taking some classes to traveling around and visiting museums, all sorts of things can be interests. They're just things that you find interesting. We could use that adjective in the same kind of way to talk about these activities.
Yes, for example, we can say Tom's interest is learning about space.
Oh, okay. So he likes to learn about space and rocket ships and going to the moon and all kinds of stuff like that. That's a pretty cool interest. All right, let's take a break and then we'll be back with more from Buddy and Marie.
What are they?
Well, I like to draw and make things.
I like to draw too. It makes me happy. How about you? Why do you like to draw?
It also makes me happy, and I can tell stories with my pictures.
Can you show me your pictures sometime?
Sure, and I want to see your pictures too.
Okay, we're back with our dialogue with Buddy and Marie talking about their hobbies and interests, what they like to do in their free time. Now, Marie had just mentioned that she has many hobbies and interests, right? And you said she sounded like an interesting person, and I agree. And Buddy probably also agrees he wants to know more about these hobbies and interests that Marie has. So he says, what are they? What are your hobbies and interests? Tell me more about them. I want to know.
So Marie says, well, I like to draw and make things. Ooh, me too.
Okay, she's very creative. She likes to come up with new things, make things, maybe out of paper, or who knows what she likes to make. But we also know she likes to make pictures, or in other words, draw. When you draw, you are making a picture using a pen, a pencil, something like that. Now, it's different from painting, so you're not using a brush. And paint, you're using a pen or a pencil. If you like to do manga, for example, you would like to draw pictures using pens or pencils. That's a great hobby.
When I was young, I loved drawing cartoons.
Oh, really? I'm terrible at drawing. I was never good at it. All right. Anyways, let's get back to the dialogue. Buddy, I think he agrees with you, and he certainly agrees with Marie that drawing is a fun activity or a pastime. He says, I like to draw too. So they both share that same hobby. He says, it makes me happy. Okay, so when he's in a bad mood, when he's had a kind of a tough day, he likes to draw. It makes him happy. It cheers him up. And then he also asks, how about you? Why do you like to draw? He said, it makes me happy. That's why I draw. What about you?
Marie is very similar to Buddy. She says, it also makes me happy, and I can tell stories with my pictures. So I think Marie shows a lot of her feelings, maybe through the colors, maybe through the pictures. She's showing how she feels, her emotions. When she's sad, when she's happy, she can show them through her art.
Okay, and maybe like you, she likes to make cartoons, right? By telling stories with several pictures to make a cartoon or a story. Now here we use this word picture. She says she tells stories with her pictures. A picture is what you create, what you make when you draw something. If you use paint, we would probably call that a painting. But if you use a pen or a pencil, if you draw, what you end up with is a picture. Now, you might also remember that other people, you've heard people say, hey, can I take your picture? And they're using a camera, right? They're not taking your picture or drawing your picture. Yes, when we use a camera, what we make is also called a picture, or more precisely, more accurately, a photograph. You use a camera to make a photograph, you draw a picture, but we often use the same word to talk about both. But with a painting, with paint, we only use that word painting.
Yep. Okay, so then we have Buddy. Buddy is very excited because they have the same hobbies. So Buddy says, can you show me your pictures sometime?
Okay.
I want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. He wants to see her pictures. Or another word we could use, her drawings, right? D-R-A-W-I-N-G. That also is what we would use to talk about a picture that you draw. And Marie is very happy to share her pictures, her drawings, her art with Buddy. She says, sure, and I want to see your pictures too sometime. All right, so, sorry, I want to see your pictures too. Now, we use this word sometime. It's an adverb that basically means a time probably in the future, but we don't know exactly
Anytime.
when. Yeah, we're not saying, oh, next week or tomorrow night or something like that at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. No, we're just saying sometime in the future, but we'll think about whenever that happens. Now, we also sometimes use this word sometimes, as I just did. When we say something happens sometimes, we mean it happens, but not all the time. It happens, and then it doesn't happen, and then it happens later on. So be careful when you put the S on the word, the meaning does change a little bit.
Exactly. So here's two examples. So for example, if you meet your friend and you say, oh, I really like you. Let's get lunch sometime. So no S. That just means sometime when we are both free. We don't know when we will meet. Let's get together. And then sometimes you could say, sometimes I get sad when it rains. That means not all the time when it rains, but sometimes when it rains. Maybe you're looking out there and you're like, oh, I feel a little bit sad. Then you could use sometimes with an S.
That's right. It's one of those words of frequency that we use to talk about how often something happens. So it's a little bit different. All right, there you go. A very interesting conversation about a very interesting hobby. Will you show me some of your drawings sometime?
I'll think about it.
Okay. All right, guys. Take care, and we'll be back with more great dialogues in the future, sometime in the future.
Sometime soon.
We hope to see you then. Yes, absolutely. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Part B, in your free time. Buddy and Marie are talking about their free time.
What do you like to do in your free time?
I like to do many things in my free time. I have many hobbies and interests.
What are they?
Well, I like to draw and make things.
I like to draw too. It makes me happy. How about you? Why do you like to draw?
It also makes me happy, and I can tell stories with my pictures.
Can you show me your pictures sometime?
Sure, and I want to see your pictures too.
Hello， 我是维尼，来看看今天的文法片语。第一个是 somebody talks about something， 某人谈论某事。We are talking about the trip during summer vacation。我们在讨论暑假时候的旅游计划。接下来是 make 这个动词，那 make 的动词三态为 make、made、made。它有3种用法。make 当一般动词的时候是做，还有制作。比方说 ，somebody makes something， 某人制作某物。My mom makes dinner every day， 我妈妈每天都会做晚餐。那第二个用法呢，是当做使役动词的时候使用，表示让还有使，它比较有强迫的意味。这时候句型就会是 A makes B 加原形动词。 A 要 B 做某件事。My mom makes me do the dishes after dinner. Do the dishes 就是洗碗的意思。我妈妈要我在晚餐后洗碗。最后 make 后面还可以接形容词 ，A makes B 加形容词 ，A 让 B 感到怎么样。My friend makes me happy. 我的朋友让我很开心。最后这个字是 tell a story， 说故事。Story 是故事，那动词固定会是用 tell。He likes to tell stories about himself。这边这个 himself 是 he 的反身代名词，表示他自己。他喜欢讲关于他自己的故事。接下来我们来看一下今天的4个单字。第一个是 free， 空闲的、有空的，它是形容词。Are you free tonight？ 你今天晚上有空吗？第二个是 hobby， 是嗜好，它是名词。那通常就是在你闲暇的时间，你定期喜欢从事的活动。What are your hobbies？ 你有什么嗜好？ My hobbies are dancing, rock climbing, and reading. 我的嗜好有跳舞啊、攀岩啊，还有阅读。接下来这个字是 interest， 其实它跟 hobby 很像，那有一点点不一样，它是兴趣、爱好是名词，比较像是你有兴趣或者喜欢，然后想要接触的事情。最后这个单字是 draw， 它是画。动词的3态呢很特别，它是 draw, drew, drawn. Can you draw？ 你会画画吗
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Zsolt.
Today we're going to play a game called Word Drop. We each have 3 of the vocabulary words on our cards here, and we're going to try to casually drop them into a conversation. So why don't you go first?
All right, let's see. In Hungary, one of my favorite things to do is go to these festivals where they have a lot of Hungarian traditional dancing and horseback riding, and at night we build a fire, and a very, very creative man will tell a story.
Oh wow, okay, that sounds like an interesting story that you just told me. I've been to Hungary, but I didn't actually have that experience. But next time I have a free moment, I'll look at some videos online.
Okay. Oh, squeeze it in. Well, I appreciate your curiosity. You seem to be very involved with a lot of things around the world, and you have I can sense the general interest from you.
Yeah, I have a lot of interest in traveling and other things, and I really, I really like to hear other people's travel stories, and I really listen intently when someone talks about their travels.
That's great. I'm very curious. I would also like to hear about your stories. If when you want to travel and you don't know what you want to travel to, and you have like several countries that you want to visit, one thing that I recommend that you do, if you don't know how to decide, is you put them all into a hat, like on a piece of paper, and you draw them out.
Ah, that's a good way to do it. I mean, that's a very random way to choose a destination.
You're stuck.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. When before I travel, I always do a lot of planning. So I usually have my destinations picked, and I'd even say in the past, planning my trips was kind of a hobby of mine.
It's a good hobby. Good to explore what's on your mind.
Yeah.
Figure out what you want.
Yeah.
See you next time.